Am Pilgrim, authored by Terry Hayes in 2014, is a gripping spy thriller that swiftly rose to become a New York Times bestseller. Hayes' career path transitioned from journalism to writing for film and television, where he contributed significantly to notable works such as Payback, Mad Max 2, released as The Road Warrior in the US, and Dead Calm. The narrative commences at a hotel crime scene, drawing readers into the investigation led by a character known as Murdoch. Immediately, it becomes apparent that the killer possesses exceptional skills. Murdoch, who is revealed as a retired spy with a past in an American intelligence agency called the Division, had been tasked with rooting out crime and corruption within the intelligence community. As the story unfolds, Murdoch's internal struggle with the moral implications of his profession and its impact on his character takes center stage. Orphaned at a tender age following his mother's tragic murder, Murdoch was adopted by affluent foster parents, Bill and Grace Murdoch. He pursued studies in psychology, ultimately entering the world of espionage. In a pivotal moment, he was compelled to carry out a life-altering act, the execution of his agency's European division head, who also served as his mentor. While this act earned him commendation from the president, it left him haunted. The narrative delves into Murdoch's deep-seated resentment towards a wealthy Swiss banker, driven by the banker's association with Hitler's regime and Murdoch's own haunting memories of a visit to a concentration camp and museum with his foster father. As the story progresses, Murdoch's desire to retire from the agency, catalyzed by the events of September 11, 2001, which rendered his agency obsolete, is unveiled. His aspiration to start anew in Paris is abruptly interrupted when a New York homicide detective named Ben Bradley, a hero during the 9/11 attacks, uncovers Murdoch's true identity through his pseudonymous book on forensics and criminology. What follows is an unexpected friendship between the two men, leading to their involvement in a perplexing case that serves as the opening of this enthralling novel. Simultaneously, Murdoch unveils a pivotal element of his narrative, the global pursuit of a bioterrorist, driven by radical Islamic ideology and intent on attacking the United States. This enigmatic figure, whom Murdoch dubs the Saracen in reference to an ancient term denoting an Arab warrior who clashed with Christians during the Crusades, shares a hauntingly familiar backstory with Murdoch himself. The Saracen's family is plunged into tragedy when his father faces execution for openly criticizing Saudi Arabia's monarchy. Fueled by a burning desire for vengeance, the young Saracen becomes increasingly estranged from his mother's embrace of Western culture and embarks on a journey to fight in the Soviet-Afghan War. Over time, he becomes convinced that an assault on the United States holds the key to toppling the Saudi monarchy. As the Saracen matures and acquires medical expertise, he meticulously plans a bioterrorist scheme. His sinister goal involves engineering a strain of smallpox resistant to vaccines, which he intends to introduce into the American population. In a chilling display of his determination, the Saracen brutally eliminates a medical director to secure the smallpox vaccine necessary for his experiments. In parallel, Murdoch, whose continued involvement centers on the East Side case, reluctantly agrees to participate in a criminology symposium as an expression of gratitude. During this time, he forms an alliance with a skilled hacker known as Battleboy, who adeptly shields his identity from prying eyes, unlike Detective Bradley's earlier discovery. The Saracen, meanwhile, re-establishes contact with former associates in Afghanistan and proceeds to test his engineered virus on hostages, resulting in their horrifying deaths. A close encounter with NATO forces nearly leads to his capture, but he manages to slip away unnoticed. Lingering evidence of his virulent pathogen prompts the US president and his inner circle to initiate efforts to trace its possible source. Known only by the moniker Whisperer, the Director of National Intelligence summons Murdoch for a critical mission, tracking down and identifying the elusive Saracen. Murdoch adopts the codename Pilgrim for this operation, guided only by a cryptic phone call originating from Bodrum, Turkey, the very city previously associated with the East Side case. Murdoch's journey takes him to Turkey, where he embarks on a mission to trace the enigmatic phone call and uncover the Saracen's contacts. Posing as an FBI agent tasked with investigating the mysterious demise of a prominent American billionaire named Dodge, who tragically plunged off a cliff while witnessing fireworks, Murdoch is taken aback by the initial ruling of accidental death. This judgment is based on the belief that Dodge was completely alone at the time of the fatal fall. In this foreign land, the Turkish authorities, particularly Detective Leyla Kamali, resent Murdoch's intrusion into their jurisdiction. Nevertheless, Murdoch finds himself drawn to Kamali's young son, forming an unexpected connection. It is during his investigation that Murdoch stumbles upon a breakthrough idea. He theorizes that the fireworks from that fateful night, combined with the chemical properties of the mirrors in the estate's library, might hold the key to proving that Dodge's killer was present in the room with him. The concept resembles the development of photographic film. Murdoch's diligent efforts confirm his theory and reveal that the woman the Saracen conversed with on the phone was none other than Kamali herself. His daring attempt to enter her residence nearly leads to his capture, but he uncovers evidence of her maiden name, which prompts Battleboy to trace her roots back to Saudi Arabia. Further exploration of the mansion where Dodge met his end yields a startling discovery. A hidden passage suggests that the killer could have gained access to the premises, and it becomes evident that the home once served as a refuge for fleeing Nazis seeking escape via the sea. Within the confines of this concealed passage, Murdoch overhears a conversation between Dodge's wife, Cameron, and another woman with whom she shares a close bond. Suspicion arises within Murdoch as he contemplates the possibility that this woman might be Cameron's accomplice in Dodge's murder. He surmises that their prenuptial agreement, which limited Cameron's access to Dodge's wealth in case of divorce, may have motivated them. Meanwhile, the Saracen successfully infiltrates a German pharmaceutical company, plotting to substitute the labels on doses of the annual flu vaccine with the lethal smallpox virus, endangering thousands of lives. Murdoch, in his relentless pursuit of the truth, manages to procure DNA evidence from Kamali's residence, ultimately revealing that the child she cares for is her nephew, a startling revelation that implicates the Saracen as a father. Murdoch's attempts to interrogate Dodge's wife, Cameron, and the woman he suspects as her accomplice, Ingrid Cole, yield no success. Frustrated but undeterred, he sets his sights on Saudi Arabia to trace the origins of the Saracen, discovering that his true identity is Zakaria al-Nasuri. However, his hopes are dashed when he realizes that al-Nasuri has seamlessly adopted a new identity that remains untraceable in public records. Desperation drives Murdoch to devise a risky plan, kidnapping al-Nasuri's son as leverage to force him into confessing his entire scheme. He allows Kamali to lure him into a trap, only to find himself facing the horrifying prospect of waterboarding, a form of simulated drowning. In his dire predicament, Murdoch relies on Bradley to save him by alerting Kamali and al-Nasuri to the imminent danger facing the child. The success of the call teeters on the brink, hindered by spotty phone reception, but ultimately, it connects. Kamali implores her brother to abandon his nefarious plans and protect his child. Murdoch, injured and delirious, conducts a successful interrogation, extracting crucial information that he promptly conveys to the President of the United States. With grave injuries, Murdoch boards a boat and seeks medical treatment from a doctor he had encountered in a previous mission. He gradually recovers and learns that Cameron and Ingrid have managed to escape Turkey by bribing their way out. Inspired by fate, Murdoch purchases a boat, drawn to it upon discovering its name, Nomad. He embarks on a voyage toward the Italian coast. During his journey, Murdoch catches wind of a newspaper report indicating Cameron's demise, leaving Ingrid, her new wife, as the sole heir. The revelation unveils Cameron's true motive, a quest for revenge and a desire to inherit her late spouse's wealth. As he sails on, Murdoch feels a sense of quiet joy, sensing the presence of his mother and foster father with him, a comforting presence amidst the tranquil sea. I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a like if you did and be sure to subscribe. Thank you.